Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind you. The heart of a lion, the team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind you. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Thursday, believe it or not, edition of YSN Live. I am your pilot, Mr. DJ Yoakley, just a kid from East Palestine, here with you, back from a unbelievable Wrestling Wednesday. Hey, you and Gary yesterday, by the way, absolutely out of the park. Good night, sweet prince. That thing was gone. You killed it. Great conversation, great interview across the board. Great Wednesday, and a great Wrestling Wednesday. The gentleman that I am alluding to, by the way, is the 8-time best-selling author, the world traveler. Also, don't forget about the Grammy, Emmy Award-winning, and Nobel Peace Prize nominee. Didn't get him last time, but we're going to get back on that horse and ride again. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the wheel deal, Anthony Ronald Hartwig.
The 2026 is our year. Nobel Peace Prize, we're coming for you.
You think?
I think so.
Word on the street is all you got to do is have somebody else give it to you. I don't know if that's a strategy of yours.
I keep my strategy close to the vest. I don't want anyone out there trying to steal it. And then all of a sudden, Scott Resitar or someone out there in the comments gets the Nobel Peace Prize right out from under me because he steals my strategy.
Scott Resitar deserves the Nobel Peace Prize.
He does. He does. You know what? You can have it, Scott.
I mean, in
his
strategy,
no, you don't get it.
His strategy is very similar to Colin Resitar's fastball. It is straight right at you, and if you come at it, it's going to leave a mark. Okay, so let's just calm down with that. Hey, Jen Coons is out there. Hey, Jen, great to see you.
You deserve the Peace Prize too.
Let's not get carried away, okay? Because she still made fun of us for a couple.
Matching. We still owe you a matching day, Jen. We might get to it. We might not.
It was from matching.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
We know you'll be here for a lot when softball season comes up, Jen. We know it.
And she'll have an interview, no doubt.
Oh,
as long as we get to it before other people do. I mean, I love what we do, and there's many interviews, but like I see these interviews, I'm like, that person was on my list to interview. I told you, I was like, guess not.
Yes.
Throw that pencil right away. Great time on Tuesday with Owen Hill and Logan Sarnas. If you're looking for those interviews, they are up on our YouTube channel as we speak. So if you missed anything from Tuesday's show, they are up, ready to go, and ready for you to dive in and dissect all of that. We had a great night of hoops last night, not only on the network, but all around the area. Anthony, I'm going to walk you through some of the scores from last night. Stop me when you want to talk about some of these teams and what they're doing. Let's start with the boys' side. that had the lesser amount of basketball last night, as the Wednesdays are pretty much dominated by women's sports here in our area, but the boys with a little bit of an appetizer for what's to come on tonight and Friday night. Crestview coming up short against Champion in a 68-62 thriller over in the View. Bloomfield coming up short in a big way against Lordstown. Hey, way to go, Devils. Way to go, Devils. Way to come through in the big 53-16. Lordstown all over Bloomfield. It was, what we got here? Tuscaroras Central Catholic with a 44-41 win over Southern Local. So another big close game from last night. Then it was Lowellville getting the, I believe, comeback victory over Western Reserve, if I'm not mistaken, in a 50-47 ball game last night. So we had some thrillers. And then we had Madison with an 81-49 win over Conneaut. Perry getting through with a 66-50 win over Crestwood. Stand by as I have to move the cursor over and get the final scores for the last two. It was a 71-37 slaughter of Leetonia over the Urban Scholars. So congrats to the Bears, who, again, I mean, they got a couple big wins right now on their schedule as we turn that corner, Anthony, towards the postseason. And then last night, as we talked about, a team that we know very well, that has performed very well. Is this score real, by the way?
The 179.
Oh, okay. The zero was cut off. Massillon 100, Ursuline 79. It looked like it was 79 to 10.
I thought Mohawk scored 100. I don't know why they're not. Have you gotten to them yet? That's why I thought you were asking if it was real, because I know Eric Hughes putting the score updates on Tuesday. Actually, it was Tuesday.
I was gonna say this is. I don't have the Mohawk up here.
I don't think Massillon scored 100 on Ursuline.
I mean, that's a lot. I think we might. Let's do. Can we do a little fact check on that one just to make sure?
Let's get. Let me see if that email. No, it was about. I got the stats for the girls on Ursuline, not the boys yet.
Do a little fact check, and we can crowdsource this too as well. So if you know what the score was last night, we're supposed to. I have a hard time believe Ursuline lost, number one, by 21 points, and secondly, gave up 100. So we'll see. As we go to the girls' side, it was Sebring with a 43-33
No, that
win.
is 100. Massillon did score 100, 100-79.
Jeez Louise. Wonder how did anybody do wellness check on Logan Sarnas?
Oh, God. Logan, you out there, buddy? Let us know.
We're going to check on you, pal. Make sure you're all right. I mean, he gassed up for good reason, the Irish on Tuesday, and then give up a hundo. I mean, they're talking about the defense for Ursuline, which is pretty stout and pretty good. So Massillon must be pretty good. Must be pretty good.
Massillon they only had 38 at halftime.
Whew.
They scored, let's see, 29 in the third quarter, 34 in the fourth quarter.
Big fourth quarter for the Tigers. Also, girls basketball side, 64-44 Western Reserve over Lowellville. There's a couple games that did not happen. It looks like Brookfield and Southeast did not happen from the looks of it.
Right.
We'll look over here. We have Struthers, 37, Cardinal Mooney, 32. Jefferson falls short 67-31 to Madison. West Branch with a 54-16 victory over Alliance. I got to see the Lady Aviators in action. They got a couple good ballers on their team, but right now, nothing to West Branch, which is pretty much how it's been for a while. West Branch just continues and continues to just pump out unbelievable teams year after year after year. So kudos to what they're doing over at West Branch. Also, want to keep an eye on Toronto, 58-16 rather, over Wellsville. Last night, Warren JFK with a winner 74 over Lake Center Christian. That one didn't happen. We had Orange coming up short against Hawken 43-22. West Geauga comes up short against Perry. Perry, the Pirates with pardon me, with a 53-37 win over West Geauga. Salem comes up on the there we go. Comes up on the short end of the stick, 43-24. Canfield with a big win over Warren Harding by the final of 42-36. We got Howland with another big win over AAC rival. I always get that. I always feel like I'm going to screw that up. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Oh,
AAC.
I say ACC all the time. It's just like it's in my vocabulary so much that.
Yeah, I'm sure you more than most, right? That's your kind of spot. You look at again, Howland 51, Borman 39, Lady Tigers with a big dub over their AAC rival, the Lady Spartans. East comes up short against Bedford. Final score there 43-29. Lady Irish of Ursuline with a win over Austintown Fitch 50-45. Good game there. Crestview dominates again against Champion, and it's a 62-26 inverted score final. Again, the Lady Rebels just continue to roll, and we talk about them at length during the beginning of the season, and then we watch them do what they do all season. Anthony, is this another Crestview team that is looking and poised for not only a successful postseason, but perhaps a deep run this year?
Yeah, I think they're motivated. Obviously, last year they were so close to a district championship. They fell just short to Canton South in the district championship game in overtime. And you just kind of feel like that sparked a little bit of more of a hunger in this team this year. They seem a little bit more focused on the fine details. Some of these games they're winning by a lot. When you watch the film,
yep,
they're not just relying on their talent to win. They're doing the small things right too. So I think Crestview kind of learned a couple lessons last year, and that might be gearing them towards a long run. Well, we'll see.
Edgewood with a 59-53 win over Conneaut. Jackson Milton with a big win over Camel. Final score there, 52-22. Liberty comes up on the short end of the stick against LeBray, 54-20. And then the last few games here, Louisville with a thriller, 46-44 over Canton Central Catholic. Last night, McDonald with a big win over Waterloo, 50-43. Mineral Ridge dominates Springfield. Final there, 51-29. Newton Falls comes up short to Garrettsville Garfield, one of the last times they will play as conference opponents. Yep. Final there is 47-19. And then finally, last night, it was Maplewood 61 and Pymatuning Valley 18. Rather. So that is that's a look at your scoreboard from last night. You too can go over and check out the daily scores each and every day at ysnlive.com/scores with an S. Scores. That's ysnlive.com/scores. And you can check out all the games that we had across the board and ones that we didn't have, as well as we were kind of woken up to some of those big ones that we had last night. Unbelievable. We had some barn burners last night, and
especially on the boys side. We'll start, Champion with a big win. They come in with, I think, 2 wins on the year. So they needed a momentum win on the boys side. And Zach Morris to transfer from Bayside High School. If you get that joke, you grew up in the 90s. But he had a big game along with Braylon Bram. And they kind of have that back and forth win. I think it was tied after 3 quarters. A very good win for the Flashes on the road at Crestview on the boys' side. You go along. We talked about Latonia. They're getting some big wins. They're getting momentum. Any win, it feels like in Latonia is a good one. When you can kind of get the results that back up the hard work. And then obviously Lowville. They had a tough start to the season, and they're starting to put things together really well. You knew they would. Coach Mattizi is so good at kind of developing talent and growing kids. He's a very good individual coach when it comes to how players develop under him. So knowing that these kids were going to continually get better as the season goes on, I'm not surprised that Lowville is starting to put things together this season on the boys' side. That's a big win for them against a team in Western Reserve that is second in the MVAC, just behind McDonald. And the Rockets get that comeback victory over the Blue Devils on the road. So that's a big win for Lowville to kind of split that boys-girls doubleheader. On the girls' side, the first thing we have to say is Perry, with the win, are officially CVC champions. They've won the Chagrin Valley Conference, their side of it, I should say, because it's such a big conference. So Perry gets the nets for the championship. I'm sure they'll cut that down the next time they get home, because you don't cut down your opponent's nets on the road, of course. So that was a big win for them to get that championship. Ursuline has won 7 of their last 9 after starting 0-6. So the Ursuline girls are on a tear. They get that comeback victory over Fitch. They were down at halftime. That's a big win for Ursuline. Howland and Boardman both came into that game on the girls' side with 2 wins. So Howland and Boardman both needing to win really badly, and Maya Kabancic leads the Tigers to a big win. I think she finished with a double-double when you look at the stats. I was surprised that Canfield got such a big fight from Warren Harding. I mean, this was a very close game. Canfield's defense does enough to get them through, but this is one of those games where I felt like it was going to happen eventually. Someone was going to give Canfield a fight, and they got one in Warren Harding. They were able to battle through it and stay atop of the AAC with that undefeated conference record. And then the last one I wanted to talk about was the one I was at with Maplewood Pymatuning Valley. This game was 11-9 almost at the end of the first quarter. Pymatuning Valley came out ready to fight. They hit 3 threes in the first quarter for all 9 of their points. But then Claire Urchek, the impressive sophomore and the reigning freshman of the year on the girls' side for YSN, hits a 3 at the end of the first quarter to make it 14-9. And then after, that's all that Maplewood needed. It was like that was the floodgates this opened up after she hit that buzzer beater 3, because the rest of the game was all Maplewood, as you can tell by the score. Pymatuning Valley from that point on only scored 9 points. 15 of their 18 points, though, came beyond the arc. So they are good at shooting the 3. 5 threes as a team. They just couldn't find offense inside the paint or inside the arc at all. They had 1 free throw and 1 2-point basket outside of their 5 threes.
One of the things that I've noticed this year, and that's a perfect segue into one of the topics today, that we're finding, and I think it's top down. It's professional basketball, whether it's NBA, WNBA, down to college basketball, and it's I don't want to say infected, because that's not the right. It is infiltrated the high school basketball scene, and that is falling in love with the 3-ball and living and dying with the outside shot. And there are a lot of coaches that are okay with dying if you're not making the bucket, knowing that some nights you'll be on, some nights you won't be. Do you like that strategy? And not that we're coaches, but I mean, just from an announcer standpoint, you watch some of these games, and yeah, if 70, 80% of the threes go in, you're going to win a game. But you know, the old kind of Mike Tomlin quote, if my uncle or my aunt had hearts, she'd be my uncle. It's one of those things where, do you like that everybody's falling in love with the 3-ball? And again, you're going to see some blowouts because some nights it's just not working. And you're going to see some games maybe you shouldn't win because it is working. Do you like it?
Live and die by the 3 is a cliche because it's true. Like, it's a cliche. People roll their eyes when they hear it because sports announcers probably say it 50 times every year when they're calling basketball games. Well, this team is living and dying by the 3. Well, yeah, duh. But it is something that is real. Like, there are teams out there that if their offense is predicated on, can we hit the 3-ball? And if we don't, we're in a lot of hot water because we don't have much of an inside game, and we have to shoot the ball to score. It happens. I'm not a huge fan of it because, once again, that's all. Even if you are a really good 3-point shooter, you're hitting about 40% of your threes. Like, there aren't a lot of 3-point shooters that are hitting 70% from beyond the arc. That's a ridiculous number. The higher percentage shot you can get, the better, the more odds you have of making it, obviously. So I would be more predicated to be like, hey, let's play inside out. let's hit shots in the paint and then make that defense respect our ability to get in the paint and then open up those shots from the outside. But then there are teams that have special shooters that just know they have the green light whenever they want it. Luke Rowan, we saw him have a great career at South Range. He could hit any three anytime. So he always had the green light. Pat Carden kind of said, hey, you want to shoot the ball, you shoot the ball. But you remember his senior year, one of the reasons why he had the best year of his career was because he advanced into the dribble drive and he was able to be not just a three-point shooter. He was able to go and drive inside and get fouled and hit foul shots and finish through contact and become a much more well-rounded basketball player without losing that ability to hit the shot from beyond the arc. So when you have the personnel to shoot the three and you don't use it, then you have, that's obviously not smart, but you obviously on the other end can't make it the only part of your offense. And I think last night, it's not like Pymatuning Valley wasn't trying to score inside. They were trying to get passes inside. Maplewood has Aaliyah Brummett in the interior that was deflecting a lot of balls and passes into the interior, blocking a lot of shots. So Pymatuning Valley really was kind of cut off from getting inside, and they kind of had to stay outside. But, they had shooters. When you hit your first 3-point shots of the game, you feel like you're feeling it. And then all of a sudden you're not for the rest of the game. That's a tough thing. When you hit those shots early and you feel like this is going to be a good night, and then you keep trying to force it, because you hit your first three and you think this is going to be the night I go off. And then it's not happening in the second quarter. And then you start saying, well, it'll happen eventually. I was shooting so well in the first quarter and it just never comes back. And that's got to be a frustrating thing for a shooter to start the game off really hot and then lose that as the game goes on.
Right. At one point the ball or the basket looks like the ocean, and the next thing you know, all of a sudden you're ice cold, and it's like trying to shoot it into, a Dixie cup. It's just not, it's a low percentage shot for the most part, right? You sit there, unless it's wide open. Coaches are going to advocate most of the time, hey, take a higher percentage shot, move the ball around, find the guy that's open for the high percentage shot, make the bucket, go play defense. Maybe it's me, but the one observation that I'm seeing is that teams with high regard for defense are winning consistently a lot more. You look at McDonald, they hang their hat. Jimmy Francis Shelley hangs the hat on defense, and the offense will come. They started slow last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. I forget. I think it was 2 weeks ago against Springfield. Started slow offensively, but it was the defense that let them hang around. And then it went into a scenario where they just started, the confidence just grew and grew and grew. Are we in, I guess, an era that defense isn't looked upon necessarily as much during the regular season as it is during the postseason? Because everybody talks about defense winning championships, but everybody now thinks that they should be 1,000-point scorer, and with less defense means more scoring, and people want to sell tickets.
Well, there's a correlation, and usually those really good defensive teams also have a really good culture and kids that buy into that mindset, because it's a little bit harder to sell a teenager. We're going to be a defensive team. We're not going to score a lot of points, but we're not going to give up hardly any. So that's the team that we're going to be, because a lot of kids just want to go out and score. It's fun to score, right? So it's hard to sell that culture of we're going to be a defense first team. If we don't score more than 50, that's okay. We're going to hold this team to 30 below, and we're still going to win games. They're not going to look pretty on the scoreboard. We're not going to be blowing teams out. We're not going to be scoring 70 plus, but we're going to win games. That's hard to sell unless you have a really good culture of leadership, accountability, and people that buy into that. That's why the programs that have really good, consistent defenses also, you look around, they have good culture. They have good team chemistry. The West branches of the world on the girls basketball side, I think they've given up more than 35 twice this whole year. So their defense is so good, but their culture is so good. Canfield girls, culture, really good. They have a group of seniors that have been playing together for a long time, trust each other on defense. Great defensive team. On the boys' side, you look at McDonald. Obviously, those seniors have been playing together for a long, long time. Great culture, great team chemistry. You trust each other on defense. You play good defense, you win games. So it's a lot harder to sell defensive mindsets to these teams culture wise, but it's not a secret that the better cultures usually have better defenses.
Are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing? Are you seeing defenses slip and then expect to turn things up,
Yeah.
in round one of the playoffs? Or is
Yeah.
this just something that is the new era of high school basketball?
Look, I mean, this obviously Ursuline gave up 100 last night. That's not going to happen to them often. They do have good defensive players, but one of my worries for them watching the scores pop up, especially the first couple weeks of the season, was every game Ursuline was winning on the boys' side were kind of shootouts where they were good scoring 76 and it was like 76-70, and they'd win 84-62, and it's like eventually those teams are going to be able to run with you and play offense with you. You got to be able to get some defense. And it looked like until last night, obviously Massillon's a great team. This is not shade, but it looked like until last night that they were starting to put together that defensive mindset back. Like Coach Gunther was starting to develop that defensive mindset. Before last night, they had 5 consecutive games where they gave up less than 65 points and 3 consecutive games where they gave up less than 50. So their defense was really starting to find its stride. Now they ran into a very good offensive team in Massillon, Washington, of course. So they gave up 100 last night, but I think their defense is starting to get it. But it's hard when you're scoring a lot of points to kind of get, like I said, get that mindset that we got to still play defense when you do have the ability to go out there and score 75, 80 points per game. It's a little bit harder to say, yeah, let's go play in defense and hold teams to minus 45.
If you're a coach, how do you motivate your players to play defense instead of just look at the scoreboard and let's see if we can keep up or just put up as many points as we possibly can?
Right. Well, what you don't want that reality check to have to be the lesson. You don't want a team to drop 100 on you and be like, well, there you go, right there. Like there's the, I mean, Gunther has that now. He can say, here, there's the proof that we have to play defense. We can't give up 100 points. But if you don't have that reality right in your face, I think some of the ways you motivate teams, I love a couple of coaches in the area in the last couple of years have had this kind of a reward system for teams. Like we have a 45 and under goal, so we have to hold our opponent below 45. And every time we do that, they get kind of some kind of a reward in practice, whether it be, a snack or a party, whatever. I don't know what the rewards are, but
Pizza party.
I know they keep track of how many games we get below 45. And it's kind of a work towards thing. It gives them another thing to kind of tangibly be able to see this is our goal. And this was us obtaining our goal. I think goal-oriented goals are a great way to motivate people. One of the things I do with my players in softball season is I make them make 3 tangible goals for the weekend that they can kind of write down and see while they're going through their weekend of travel ball. What are your goals? And when you have those tangible goals that you can see all the time, before you bat, you look at your goal card, it kind of keeps them motivated to say, yeah, I have these tangible goals. I'm holding on to the goal that I want. And I think that's a really good way to motivate kids. Have that tangible goal, whether it be pick a number. 45 for girls, I think is good. For boys, it's probably more like 55, holding teams below 55. And how many times can we do that in a season? And do we have a goal to say, let's say we play 22 games, in at least 18 of them, we hold our opponents below this number, then we did a good job. So to have that tangible goal, I think is a really good way to motivate kids.
But how do you utilize that tangible goal so it's not, well, I want to hit 3 doubles. I want to bat over 500 for the weekend. And I also, expect, 3 wins. Like one of those things where a lot of the times, it's not defensively minded things that are goals. How do we shift the pendulum or swing the pendulum back to, defense? And, we do want to keep teams under 55. We do want, as many steals as you can get during a game. Yes, we value points on the scoreboard, but we also can't do it if you have 4 fouls every game and we have to pull you out for the last, for the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. How do we remotivate players to be defensive minded, or is it too far gone?
And that's the great question, because if it was so easy to do it, there'd be like every team would be like that and it would be easy. So coaches everywhere are trying to answer that question. And some coaches have found the way to do it with their kids. Some coaches obviously haven't found it yet or are still working on it. But it's hard to say like one particular answer because every kind of room is different. Every room of locker room is different. You have to motivate every kid in a different way. I had it a situation like it's funny you brought up that a goal was I want to hit 500 for the weekend and hit this many doubles, because I had a kid like 2 weekends in a row have those big offensive goals and not reach them, and then we had a conversation like, hey, your goals have to be something that will stretch you, but is also something that feeds into your strength. And she was a really good defender, and she was also a really good pitcher when she got in the circle. And I said, let's make your goals geared a little bit more towards your strengths, your absolute strengths, and defense and pitching. And once they kind of get that into their mind where it's like, okay, these are my strengths, these are what I'm good at, these are what I am putting out there, then let's make a goal towards that. And those goals start to get reached a lot more often. And then when that happens, confidence goes up, and you can kind of leak that towards more into offense in the softball world, where it's like, okay, you're feeling a little bit better about yourself because you're obtaining a couple of goals that you set. Now your hitting kind of improves a little bit because you don't have that pressure of, I have to hit 500 because that's my goal. So making goals that are your strength. And sometimes a player's strength is their offense at that point. So at that point you say, okay, let's make your goal offense. And then once you hit some goals, you feel confident, let's stretch your goals a little bit and go towards a little bit more of your weaknesses and reach those goals. And that can be transferred into any sport. Basketball, there are some players that are very good defenders, don't score a lot. So you make the first couple, hey, let's get 5 steals this game. You got that goal. That's awesome. Next game, okay, we need a little bit more scoring from you now. You're feeling a bit more confident. You've reached a couple of goals. Let's make this goal for this game, get into double figures, get 10 points. And then you reach that goal, and then you kind of just start getting confidence more and more as you start to accomplish things that you set out to accomplish.
Baseball, softball, I feel you can dice up numbers however you want on either side of the aisle. Basketball, it's a little bit more black and white than it is gray. And I would say from a standpoint of, I think there is an accountability, a responsibility by both, or I guess by all, parents, coaches, and fans to celebrate some of these different statistics a little more. Like, if there's a steal, for instance, if there's a bucket that is made at one side of the gymnasium, everybody claps for that team, right? For that player. But if there's a steal or there's a rebound, you might get a little bit of applause. You might get no applause. It's kind of like expected that you're going to play defense and do the dirty work of rebounding, boxing out, setting yourself up good defensively. Is it a problem for coaches? Is it a problem that is kind of started or begun by parents, by fans? Is it just we're so used to, hey, I'm going to make a 3, you're going to clap for me, and that's it? There's an expectation for that. And how much of that needs to be morphed or changed as we continue to head down the stretch? Because I can tell you it starts at very, very young ages, because everybody understands scoring, but not everybody understands defense and rebounding.
That you're exactly right, and I would love everyone in the crowd to clap at every rebound and every steal and every kind of, just not even a steal. That you teed up your player and they did not get to the basketball. They did not get to the basket. Like, that's a great defensive play. It'd be great if you get a lot of claps for that. Sometimes you get good claps for charges, which I love. I love drawing a charge when that gets a good crowd reaction, because that's one of the hardest things to do in basketball.
Well, those are referees.
Body on the line and say, so when that gets a crowd reaction, I'm like, yeah, let's, because that deserves some rewards. But on the other end, like, I would love every steal to get a clap, but it feels like the only claps that happen after a steal are the ones that transition into buckets, right? That's the way it's always been. I think sports fans have always been the ones that, that's why they always say that it's another cliche that the stats get the headlines, the scores get the headlines, because people are drawn towards scoring. People are drawn towards that bucket. When you look at the highlights after the game on SportsCenter, whether it be college or pro, they're not showing the big steals or the big rebounds. They're showing the dunks, the threes, the scoring. So that's kind of what has always been geared into athletes' heads. We have to score to get on the highlights, to get recognized, to get the limelight, to get appreciated. As a coach, you have to flip that and say, I appreciate you for playing defense. I appreciate you for boxing out. And that's why I think there's other ways to If they're not getting crowd admiration for those buckets, you find other ways to make sure those kids that are doing that get appreciated for what they're doing. Because let's face it, they're not going to get a standing ovation for getting a big steal or getting a big block. Actually, sometimes blocks do it. If they like pound the ball into the crowd, that'll get you. But big defensive plays don't always get the big crowd reactions. So you have to find other ways to make the student athlete feel like you did a really good job by doing that, and you get just as much attention as someone that just hit a three would have gotten from a coach's perspective. Maybe when you're watching film or when you're kind of recapping the game with your team in the locker room, you make sure to mention those players so they feel like, okay, at least the coach, maybe the crowd didn't notice what I was doing, but the coaching staff understands what I'm doing, what I'm putting in, and it's appreciated on that end. And I can trust that process is working.
Basketball is weird in the sense that you only celebrate like very few defensive plays. Someone gets a swat. I mean, that's like almost world renowned celebrated, but it is oftentimes not even your basketball. If you swat it away, 90% of the time you're swatting it out of bounds, and you just reset the defense, you reset the offense. But imagine, let's just think about this. Other sports, football, okay? Because football is the one everybody loves, everybody's thinking about right now. It's still football season for the next 2 weeks. Can you imagine if no one clapped after a big fumble or a sack strip or or an interception? Nobody clapped unless that person took it back to the house for points. Right. I think that's essentially what you're doing in basketball when there's a steal or a good rebound, offensively or defensively. You're waiting to see what it materializes to, or if it materializes at all. And if it doesn't, not that boo-hoo for the players, it's like it's not appreciated in that particular context if it doesn't end up in 2 or 3.
The equivalent for football would be like, hey, if an offensive lineman does his job and blocks a really good defender and doesn't let him get to the quarterback, that's, hey, the play worked. Okay, cool. But maybe it's an incomplete pass. The wide receiver drops it. That's what gets shown. But like, hey, I blocked this like 5-star defensive lineman, didn't let him get to our quarterback at all, put him on the ground. But because the pass was dropped, it's an unsuccessful play, and no one really talks about the fact that I did my job. And then like for just normal tackles, like a great open field tackle that keeps a guy from breaking one, and maybe you're the only line of defense between him and a first down. That usually doesn't get the big ovation, but that's still a really good defensive play. So there's still probably, in every sport there's little things that you can do that don't get the admiration from maybe the outside, the fans, the highlights, the media, but they're still like, you need them to be done, and they should get recognized by the internal coaching staff and the other players on the team. Like, man, you're doing your job.
See, that's interesting because there's a little bit more to what you said that you can kind of pull out and say, okay, it's very similar to players that are game-changing, just almost game-wrecking players. And right. If a player is really good on defense, no matter what the sport it is, you're going to try to avoid them on offense at all costs because they're going to blow up the game. They're going to take you out of your game plan, and you're just going to incorporate them. That's why, and I know this is an easy reference for me, but you sit there and everybody wants to trade TJ Watt right now because he wasn't this, all-world Pro Bowl / defensive player of the year / but I think some number like 70% of the plays went away from him.
Yep.
I mean, that causes an opportunity for the other side of the defense. And it's the same in basketball. If you have someone who is really good at shooting the ball defensively, you are probably going to be face guarded. You know what I mean? And that starts at a very young age because a lot of times those players can't deal with being face guarded. They can't deal with that close proximity on defense, and you're going to disrupt them. But on the other side, the flip side of that coin, if there is a really good defender, you're not going to go over their way. Even if it goes to your strengths on that side of the floor, right. You're going to have your offensive players stay as far away from them as possible because you want them to score. You want it to come down your best offense against their best defense, who's going to win, even if they're on opposite ends of the floor, because if the defense wins consistently, that's going to affect the offense more significantly and probably more times than the offense is going to disrupt the defense, right or wrong.
Right. Absolutely. Like no one said, hey, let's run at Ray Lewis. No one said, hey, let's throw let's throw in the direction of Deion Sanders back in the 90s. Let's just throw his way. Let's see if we can get a ball over him. Unless
we're going to pick on Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
We're going to pick on
it didn't happen. But on the caveat, Deion Sanders and then these great cornerbacks are usually marked with the other team's best receivers. So it's like, if we don't, we can't go to our best guy. We have to go to our secondary.
I'll throw it on Deion right now. Yeah. He's got like 4 toes. I can spin it. Hey, if the Broncos are still looking, I know they got Jarrett Stidham, but I think I can do just
over
the
mountains. Over them, their mountains.
Over them, their mountains.
Uncle Rico.
Who are you rooting for, Anthony? Like, I'm having the toughest time trying to stay involved in the National Football League for this week. It is one of my favorite weekends of the year. There's essentially 2 Super Bowls going on. But I don't know for the life of me who I'm like. I have to have a cheering interest, right?
I don't think there's a matchup that could happen that's never happened before in the Super Bowl, because I think the Broncos played the Rams back in the like John Elway days. And obviously, we know the Patriots played the Seahawks. Patriots have played the Rams, and the Broncos have played.
Broncos played.
So usually, I like when it's like there's a new matchup, like a new matchup. Yeah, that was John Elway's first win, but I think he played the Redskins. But I think there was a year like maybe his first.
Whoa! The Washington football team.
Back then, it was still the Redskins when they played.
We don't need to be canceled, Anthony.
Historical accuracy. I think I could be wrong. I could be way off, but I feel like maybe his first Super Bowl, maybe he played the Cowboys. Maybe I'm wrong.
How many Super Bowls did John Elway go to?
He went to a bunch before he won his first.
No
I think
way.
He went to 3 or 4 because he lost twice to Washington. I think he lost to I think he went to 3 before he beat the Packers, and then he won 2 in a row. So I think he went to 5 total.
This one's for John.
That's why it was like because he finally got the win in the Super Bowl, and then got the next one the next year against the Falcons. It's hard because I obviously am a Chiefs fan. The Broncos are in our division. They're just one of our rivals. We're kind of taught to not like the Broncos, and the Patriots feel like they're coming. They're not even done with their dynasty yet. Like, come on, it took 5 years. 5 years to get back. Is it 5? It might be 6.
You're right, man. He won in 98-99 after 3 earlier appearances. Super Bowl 21, 22, and 24.
Who did he play in 21? Was that Washington?
Who did the Broncos play in their Super Bowls? Stand still. We got this. Okay, here we go. Cowboys, Giants
in Washington.
49ers, Packers, Falcons, Seahawks, and Panthers. What the heck? Oh, okay. That's not just Elway. That's all of them.
Yeah. So Elway lost to the Giants, Washington, and 49ers before he beat the Packers. But the Broncos also went to 21 before John Elway was there.
Which one's the one that the Browns should have been in?
That was the Broncos' first one, I think. Or maybe the second, because John Elway still played. So maybe it was 22 when the Broncos played the Giants. Because that was the drive. Oh, poor
21 was the Giants. 22 was Washington. 49ers were 24.
Those were back-to-back years they beat the Browns. So,
well, the drive that was long.
So those 2 years were both Broncos Browns. First it was the drive, then it was the fumble in back-to-back years.
The Giants won. Okay.
So,
thanks, Bobby.
Bobby.
See, I don't know, man. I like Mike Vrabel.
I'm kind of rooting for the Broncos and Seahawks. Seahawks for sure, because I want Mike Swinehart to get a win. I would love to see the Seahawks in there.
It wouldn't make me upset if the Seahawks won. Like the Seahawks they have what, one Super Bowl? Should have two.
Yeah, should have two. One Super Bowl should have two.
Dang it, man! I have the hardest time not rooting for Mike Vrabel.
Obviously it's going to be fun. It's also good to see, like, if a team loses their starting quarterback and everyone is saying there's no way they're going to win, it'd be a good story if Stidham comes out and just plays really well and gets them a win and gets them into the Super Bowl after their starter got hurt.
And then Bo Nix gets traded to Pittsburgh. That's what should happen.
Stidham balls out, throws like 6 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. They're like, well, we better keep him. Bo, you're gone.
I need my Rams to win, says Sean Elwood.
Yeah, Sean's a Rams fan.
So is Noah Doty, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. So no matter what, on the NFC side, we have some YSN people that'll be happy. That's good. I know Fred Moots is out there rooting hard for the Broncos.
My dear friend
and Ty Bartel's a Patriots fan, so
yeah. Man.
I don't think we have anyone in the YSN employee catalog that's a Broncos fan. Could be
a Broncos jersey. Peyton Manning. I think the new Broncos jerseys are hideous. You look hideous.
I like the my favorite Broncos jerseys are the ones they actually won the Super Bowl in. Those navy blues with the white numbers and the orange kind of.
That's what I have.
Yeah, those are.
Well, those were the John Elway Super Bowls. The Peyton Manning Super Bowl was
almost the same font. I think Peyton Manning won his Super Bowl in white.
I think it was white. I think you're right, but they had orange. They did now they do the orange too. But Peyton Manning was big into the orange.
Yeah. I don't think they wore orange a lot in that uniform combo before Peyton Manning got there. I think he kind of streamlined that.
Yeah, you're right, because the Terrell Davis was always the
blue
navy
or white.
blues.
Yeah.
Which navy blue and orange, as my wife would say, complementary colors.
Yeah,
but
they look good.
It's sharp. Only thing better is red, white, and blue. And that's the only thing keeping me pinned towards, because I have the Patriots jersey technically, but it's got YSN on it.
You have the Brady jersey too, right? I'm betting.
Every Brady jersey. Tampa.
Do you have all the Tampa? Do you have all those Tampa jerseys, or just like one Tampa Bay jersey?
I tried for the creamsicle, and somewhere between here and Asia,
it got lost.
There is a lost in translation of creamsicle orange, because it is it came in, it was really gold, really yellow.
What is this?
I don't even know where it is. I think I might have just thrown it away. That's the risk you take with those tariffs.
Hey, when jerseys are $26, you take the risk that they might not be perfect.
We have a few of them. We have my Macklin jersey instead of Evgeny Malkin jersey. Had my mom cut that up and make it into a pillow. So
Sean might be interested. One of my first jerseys were Chiefs jerseys. One of my first non-Chiefs jerseys was Marshall Faulk in the old navy and gold Rams jersey, which I really liked. I really liked that.
St. Louis Rams.
Yeah, St. Louis.
Those were good jerseys. I still think. I know we're way off of the beaten path. I still think some of the best uniforms are the Rams, not now, what they used to be before they were all Nike'd up. Like the Kurt Warner Rams, like the blue. I have it back here.
Just right, like with Marshall Faulk, like those years were Kurt Warner.
But they were like blue. No. Like the regular, like royal blue and yellow.
Oh, okay.
Like American Underdog.
Oh, okay. That the Rams throwback.
Yeah,
when
I like those.
The first run in LA.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about the Colts uniforms, and the Patriots uniforms now are just absolutely fire. The shoulder stripe.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Those Rams jerseys had the shoulder stripe too.
No,
Except it was kind of like a curl ram instead of a straight stripe. But
it was on the sleeve.
Okay.
It was on the sleeve. Yeah, the Jets used to have. I mean, I don't think they have it anymore. The Jets had the stripes on the shoulder.
With Vinny Testaverde.
Sanchez. That wasn't nearly. I mean, there's something about the royal blue, the all whites that
with green and white together, like in that it just doesn't pop the way that blue and white does in that uniform design.
Yeah, I'm big. Like, I really, really appreciate the. Now the Rams had the worst jerseys and the best jerseys, if that makes sense.
You didn't like the all yellows, right? The color rush yellows.
I'm not against them. Like, they don't strike my fan. They're kind of like the Seahawks ones that were all
the highlighter
fluorescent green and like, okay, I can deal with that for like one game, but like to do it every game is now the Seahawks throwbacks. I love. And I always, growing up, I thought they were the ugliest jerseys ever. And now I appreciate them.
It's a bold color combo to have that blue and that green together. Like, it doesn't feel like
the silver helmets. Like
the silver helmets with the blue, like the straight blue, but the other color was like the straight green. It wasn't like navy green. I mean, it wasn't forest green. It was just like a straight up, like middle of the hue green and middle of the hue blue with silver. It was like those shouldn't work, but somehow they really do.
Well, it was like the Hartford Whalers or someone had it in hockey for the longest time, and I have that jersey. It's sick. It's like, I shouldn't work, but it does. So yeah, I mean, I couldn't even tell you the best because I like the Broncos. I don't like their new ones. I don't like their numbers. I think they look kind of cheap. But their old ones, like the John Elway jerseys, I can get behind that. And their throwbacks are sick. I like those. Like the old numbers, the regular blue regular blue. Royal blue helmets. See, that's sharp. And I'm usually not a throwback guy, but I guess the older I get, the less they're throwbacks, the more like what I grew up with. So, what he said, my first jersey was a James Laurinaitis.
Ooh.
Whew.
Okay. I see you, Sean.
Wow. My first jersey, I still have it. It's still in my closet. I kept it. I got it in 7th grade. It was Cordell Stewart. And I wore it probably 4 days out of the 5-day school week.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't not. I loved it that much. Still love it. Hard to believe I fit into it better now than I did probably when I was a kid. But it's what happens when you don't have a whole lot of money and your parents buy it big so that way you can grow into it.
Yep, my big one was Marcus Allen back in the 90s. So
interesting. Top jersey right now? Pick one.
Top jersey? You mean like the top jersey I have?
No, like jersey that maybe you don't have it personally, but if someone gave it to you or gifted it to you, you wouldn't be against it. Can't be your team.
So it's okay. I have plenty of my teams.
Sure do.
I was looking through college baseball jerseys on DHgate the other day. I know it's crazy. Coastal Carolina. I know this is crazy. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, what's he doing?" They have some slick teal and black jerseys that just pop, man.
Yep,
just pop. Those are the ones I was like, man. Next time I get some jerseys, I might put that in my cart.
Oh, Coastal Carolina,
the Chanticleers.
Now, you don't put your own name on the back of your jersey, do you? I do. All the time.
I have one with the Chiefs and one with the Royals, and that's like if it's my team, yes. I don't just do that with random teams, though.
Yeah, who does that with random teams? I have a Florida Seminoles jersey in the closet. Ooh. The black ones. Remember the tribal uniforms that they bust out? Oh, man. 31, Yoakley,
Yeah.
all laced up and ready to go.
Never been
Only-
worn.
I think I wore it once. And that was pretty much it. And then I think Jameson stole some crab legs, and that was it.
Well, I can't wear that anymore.
People are judging me, and I didn't even steal any crab legs. What about baseball? I mean, other than Coastal Carolina, who would you go with?
Baseball. In the MLB one that I don't have that I kind of like, I like the Brewers jerseys.
Which ones?
The dark blue ones.
Yep.
I think they look fire.
McDonald had those.
Yeah.
Those are lights out.
Don't know really who I would get necessarily, as far as I haven't thought deeply enough to be like, I want this guy's jersey.
Old school Rowdy Tellez.
Ooh.
Extra large.
I also am a fan of like the Reds jerseys, the red with the C on the chest.
The pinstripe one?
Yeah, no, the dark the Reds. I don't know if they have pinstripes, but I've always
They
just been that logo with the Reds in the middle, kind of like that. Plus, Cincinnati, you can rep Ohio a little bit without going inside your division. I don't like getting division rival jerseys. I just don't. Probably won't.
Yeah,
won't
me
ever get
neither.
a Tigers, White Sox, or Guardians jersey in any time soon.
I have Guardians jerseys.
But you're not in their division.
No, which is why I would never get a Reds jersey. Also because I hate the Reds. But I do appreciate their logo.
Why can't I think of the guy's name? I'll get it.
Is it a red?
Yeah.
Joey Votto.
No, he starts with a B, and his first name starts with a B. I'm a big fan now because he owns one of the professional softball teams, and he's been a big component in growing professional softball. But why can't he's a I think he's a Hall of Famer. He definitely was won Golden Gloves. He played shortstop, I think.
Brandon Phillips?
Yeah, there it is. Brandon Phillips. I want his jersey.
Because I knew all about him owning a softball team.
Yeah,
That's what tipped me off.
I knew it.
If you ever want to borrow one, Sean has plenty of White Sox jerseys. So Sean's a Rams and White Sox guy?
What?
Interesting. I wonder if he's a pinstripe home guy or like the black with the silver and white. He probably has both. Just a wild guess. Blame his father.
Blame.
That's it. That's interesting. Because we saw that. I mean, that's another topic for another day. But my dad didn't really care. He ended up liking the Browns and the Steelers somehow.
Yeah, my dad, like, he loves sports, so sit down and watch it. But, like, he roots for Ohio State, but he'll also root for the teams that we just root for just because he wants to see us happy. So, like, he'll sit and root for Georgia Tech with me. He'll sit and root for Kansas City. He's still a Browns fan. He'll still watch Browns teams, but he's never been that guy that's, like, super fanatic about a team. It's more my mom's side, really, that they got me, like, fanatically involved in following a sports team.
And that's why you're such a big Florida Marlins fan.
Yeah, go Marlins. Woo. Marlins with West Branch, because
Well, I heard that they're bringing back the like teal jerseys this year.
this logo is so much better than the one they have.
Well, what I understand, because I mean, if I'm reading about uniforms and jerseys or something of like, they're going to take the F and just make it an M instead. And I was like,
but I think the F it just looks good with the it's one of those letters that looks good with the Marlin jumping over it. I don't know if the M would have the same, because it's obviously structured. So you'd have to put the Marlin over it, but then it'd have to be like over the whole letter. I don't know. This logo is fire for me.
of the 26 letters in the alphabet, F is up there, at least in my top 30. There's a lot of my
right?
a lot of my favorite words that start with that letter. So It's a good hat.
Today's show is brought to you by the letter F.
As in, use it in a sentence.
That Saturday Night Live skit where Will Ferrell keeps trying to go F in the front of the lineup, and the guy keeps like tackling him because he doesn't want him to spell out that word. You seen that where they all have letters on their thing, and it's UCK, and they keep trying to get Will Ferrell to the front of the line.
Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. This is almost therapy right now, Ant, because Rob Johnson says, my first jersey was a Steelers jersey purchased by my uncle. And Rob, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
Who was it, Rob?
Oh, man.
Whose jersey
Rob,
you get?
I'm not looking in case he pops it up there. So this would have been when Rob was young. So I'm going to guess it was a Mean Joe Green jersey. Or Bradshaw. I'm going to go Joe Green.
Give me the dark horse. Give me Lynn Swan.
Big 8-8.
What?
It's
That's
hilarious.
That's not an answer, Rob. You gotta give us an answer, buddy. We're waiting.
Oh, it's Swan!
One. Let's go.
Dang. What a guess. What a pull by Anthony Hartwig. Nice job. And by the way, Rob's uncle, now one of my favorite human beings on this earth. Today's show was brought to you by Rob's uncle, wherever he is.
You're my spark, Rob's uncle.
Yeah, it is time for our spark, as you mentioned that. And it is brought to you thanks to our friends at Joe Dickey Electric. They are everything electrical. And just like YSN, they're available 24/7, 365 at DickeyElectric.com. All right, Ronald, outside of Rob's uncle, who is your actual spark today?
In all seriousness, I want to give some good vibes out to the Lakeview community. I know they're dealing with some tragic news right now. I will have them tonight at South Range, so I wanted to take the time to say that we are thinking about Lakeview, and we know that they have a student that in the middle school that's going through some tough stuff, and we want to make sure that we're lifting that community up as much as we can.
Prayers up for Jackson, his family, all his friends, everything that goes along with it. And if you know something that is needed, please let us know so we can either help and or pass along the word to make sure that they get what they need. Certainly. Hey, well done. Nice job. That's a great spark. That's why we do what we do. On my side of it, boy, some interesting decisions are going to have to be made over the next 24 to 48 hours when it comes to cancellations of games, of plans, of all that stuff. Because, Anthony, the big one's coming. The big ones are coming, and it's coming big. It's never been bigger. In case you've been living under a rock, the toilet paper and all the good stuff, the eggs and the water have been probably purchased outright from every local, grocery store there is near you, because everybody is gearing up for this big storm that we're supposed to get. And there's only one place, Anthony, that you should be checking constantly to make sure that you are ready for this storm that is a-coming. And that is with Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm, the GOAT, Mr. Andrew DePaulo, and the Storm Tracker 21 app. Please download it. It's absolutely free for you. And also, they do a good job with coordinating cancellations. So in case you don't check your Remind, or what's the other thing that we use? Group Me, Team, whatever.
Team
Teams. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, Anthony, because there's particularly a lot of the travel ball stuff. They try to hold out the best they can because they don't want to lose games because they'll lose revenue.
Right.
So I don't know if you have if you're scheduled for one game on Saturday, they don't want to cancel the game so that way you have a doubleheader and they lose 50% of their revenue.
Yeah, and then I think YSU's having a softball camp this weekend. They're probably going to hold on to that as long as they can because they'd obviously have to refund all the money that they earned in that pool of teams if they can't play. It'll be interesting to see how it all goes down. I heard 18 inches.
I'm guessing on every single front that 18 inches is involved. It's probably a little bit of an exaggeration.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. She said it. Snowmageddon is coming, says Rob. It's
winter.
Do you remember the one from like 2009?
Yeah.
February 2000. It was my birthday, actually.
I had a beagle, and I remember like him going into the snow and then just disappearing. Like you couldn't. It was just a leash, like as if I was fishing in an ocean.
That was one of the most memorable ones of my entire life, and nobody saw it coming. This one, everybody sees it coming. I wonder if it's just going to be some, 3-inch, like, oh, here it is.
Enough to still go golfing. You can still find your golf ball. Hang on a second.
Yeah, I got it. I got it, Frank. It's right over here. I don't know. I just don't know. We have the best meteorologists in the world here at WFMJ and Storm Tracker 21. I believe them. It's coming. They're making posts about it. I'm kind of obsessed with it right now as a parent. Just like, okay, you know how hard it is? Not because you just go, hey, we're not going. It's not worth it. It's
right.
You're going to stay inside and have a cup of hot cocoa with your family. That's how it's going to go. But everybody's like, what are you going to do with all that toilet paper that you just racked up? You have to poop that much. It's incredible. Cheer camps.
Never cancel. They take it seriously there. We're cheering today. It's 21 inches. We're still cheering.
You said 18 inches is what you're hearing to be expected.
I heard 18.
Here.
Yeah. Now, even the best meteorologists, it's still an estimated guess. There's never a surefire thing when it comes to weather. That's the game they play. But we'll see.
What a life. What a life they live. They can dance in the fire and never get burned. You moved it. The wind level shifted it a little bit. I mean, it's incredible. Good for them, man.
This high pressure system here just didn't move the way we thought it would.
When I grow up, I want to be a weather guy. I think they have a lot that they go through. Like
we're being funny, but we should have the YSN crew go down and audition as a meteorologist at WFMJ studio and each try to do a weather broadcast, a mock weather broadcast, and see if we point to the right things. And
they used to do it at the Canfield Fair. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And they give you a tape. My sister and I did it, and my sister had no clue where any of the states were on the map, and she got so pissed at the camera. Like the person that was like on the other side of the camera, like, hey, do this. And she's like, and I'm talking in this really high, squeaky voice. And she's like so mad at the person trying to help her out. And meanwhile, I'm sweating bullets with my bowl cut, like trying to make it through this forecast. Like I'm auditioning the CBS or NBC nightly news. If I nail this, Lester Holt's going to see this. Tom Yamas, I'm on your radar. Needless to say, I didn't get picked up. I blame it on my sister. She screwed everything up. She couldn't even figure out where Ohio was. Dummy. That's going to do it for our show. Our most sincere appreciation to every meteorologist out there that's going to help keep us safe, warm, and nothing bad. Nothing bad's going to happen. Nothing bad. That's it. No more bad stuff's going to happen this winter. This is it. It's over. All the good stuff from now on. Good vibes only, right?
Yes,
That's what people say
absolutely.
online. Good vibe. I refuse negative vibes. Good vibes only. For Anthony Ronald Hartwig, my name is DJ Oakley. We're going to be better tomorrow. You won't see us tomorrow. We're going to be preparing, getting some toilet paper, eggs, and water, preparing for Snowmageddon 26. But we'll be back most likely on Monday if we make it through.
If we
hope you
survive.
do. We hope you make it through too, because we want to see you on Monday. Don't forget, stay safe this weekend. And if you can, if you're able, get out and support local sports, however, wherever, and whenever you can, specifically this weekend, because if those kids are making the trek and those parents are making the trek to wherever they're going, they deserve to be applauded wherever, even if it's just on YSN. Just make sure you're tuning in from the comfort of your own house in front of your space heater. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll be better on Monday. And certainly we want you to remember that, Anthony, just like we always say, may the sports be with you, pal.
And you, my friend.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.